coffee to clear my head. Telephone ring and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that. Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, he said, what up with that?
And welcome to another week segment of What's Up With That. Of course, my name is Drew Garino, here to bring you the action from week 6 of the NFL season and a late developing changing of the guard as Bill DeFerrari was able to slide into first place to fend off Sean and move to 5-1 on the fantasy season. Congratulations to Bill, who now sits alone in first place. Bill was amazingly able to put up 169 fantasy points with his second running back, Orleans Darkwa, who putting up the big goose egg. What's up with that? Hey, tough week for Cam. That makes the second consecutive week that he has now lost. He only put up 86 points to lose this one. And more bad news for Cam, as now Big Ben could be sidelines for 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. All of a sudden, those injuries are starting to catch up with Cam and potentially could be derailing a very, very promising fantasy football season. Hey, speaking of promising, Dave Power has quietly moved up to third place in the League of Legends standings with his most impressive win of the season over the aforementioned Cam last week. Dave has really benefited from some shrewd fantasy pickups, including Terrell Pryor, Cameron Meredith, and of course our own James White. They combined last week for nearly 78 fantasy points amongst the three. What's up with that? Hey, what's up with Sean almost coming back on Monday Night Football due to his Cardinals there, but he wasn't able to get enough points at the end of the day to take down Bill's team. Sean continues to be hurt by his tight end position, and now will have to go without LaShawn McCoy for at least this week's action. He'll tell you he's not scared, but is that fact or fiction? Speaking of facts, Steve was able to get another win this week to move to 500 by defeating Dennis. Steve has really benefited, of course, from Rob Gronkowski's big day on Sunday, but Steve's going to need a little bit more out of his running backs if he wants to step up that point total moving forward. Let's move to Adam's team. Yikes. Well, it doesn't really need to be said about Adam's team, but we'll say it anyway. An absolutely embarrassing loss for Adam this week. He falls back to 3-3 on the season with the loss to previously winless Bud. Adam got absolutely nothing from Carson Wentz and his top 2 wide receivers. Just when you think he's out, they pull you right back into mediocrity. Hey, speaking of mediocrity, Dennis is now at 3-3 on the season with a loss to Steve last week. Dennis got absolutely nothing from his New York Jets once again, but hey, on the bright side, he may have found something in this Cole Beasley kid. That's a great name for a thirsty banker. Hey, Drew got a good win last week to put himself back to 500. He beat Ryan and finally got a good performance out of Lamar Miller, who previously hadn't found the end zone, but apparently he knows where the end zone is. He scored a touchdown, but Drew still hasn't been getting consistent scoring, and that really may hurt him moving forward. So we're going to need to see his point total climb if he has any shot at making some noise towards the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, it's not looking really promising for Ryan's team right now, who originally had Spencer Ware in his original starting lineup, but then pulled him in lieu of Chris Hogan's 4-point fantasy performance on Sunday. Nothing seems to be going right now for the defending champ, so will we be seeing a fire sale in the future? What's up with that? Hey, what's up with that? Golf clap for Bud. You know what? It's a good lesson for the kids out there. Persistence is key. Bud was able to find a very viable running back on the waiver wire in Terrence West. He started him, 28 fantasy points. Congratulations, of course, go out to Bud. Hey, Bud, every blind squirrel does find a nut every once in a while. Hey, see you next week.